A bearing is a three-figure number that is used to describe directions. They're always measured from north in a clockwise direction. If the bearing is less than 100, zeros are written in front of the angle to ensure it has 3 digits. So for example, 42 degrees is written as 0, 42 degrees. If we look at how to draw a diagram to show the bearing 67 degrees, there's a set of steps that we need to follow in order to get the bearing accurate. The first thing we need to do is to draw a straight vertical line and label it as our north line. Then we need to use a protractor to measure an angle of 67 degrees. Once we've done that, we then complete the bearing by drawing a line with a ruler in the direction that the bearing takes us. Now we've completed a bearing to show 67 degrees. It's always important to read the question carefully, and if it asks for a bearing of A from B, it means measure the angle at B, not A. In this example, we see the bearing of B from A is 0.59 degrees, and it wants us to work out the bearing of A from B. Press pause, take 5 minutes to work it out, and then come back to see the worked out answer. So, in this question, they told us that the bearing of B from A is 0.59 degrees, and they wanted us to work out the bearing of A from B. So when it comes to solving these bearings questions, it's really important to make sure you read the question properly because it contains the information you need to measure the correct angle. So in this question, it's asking us to work out the bearing of A from B. Now, wherever you see that word from, that indicates that's where they want you to measure the angle from. So we're measuring it from B. Now, you should know that when you measure a bearing, you measure it in a clockwise direction from north. So we have our north lines on here, and so therefore we are in fact wanting this angle here. Now in this particular question, they would just give you the drawing, and it may not be done to scale. So it's important you don't reach for your protractor and try and measure it yourself, but use angle facts in order to work out the correct answer. So when it comes to working out the size of this angle, well, the first thing we're going to do is use an angle fact involving parallel lines. And that is that the interior angles between two parallel lines add up to 180. I already know the angle here is 59, so it's quite simple, therefore, for me to work out that 180 subtract 59 would give me 121 degrees. So this angle in here is 121 degrees. That's not our bearing though, because that angle is not measured clockwise, but is in fact measured anti-clockwise. So the angle we want is this one here, and you should see that this angle added to this angle gives me a full turn, which is worth 360 degrees. So in order for me to work out the bearing, I simply do 360 degrees, subtract the 121 degrees that I calculated here. And when I go through and work that out, you can see we end up with an answer of 239 degrees. So the bearing of A from B is 239 degrees.